My first top tip for the transition from finance director to CEO is that the most important thing you need is a growth mindset. And by that, I mean you really need to be able to identify the skills and experience you need to take you beyond the finance director role and seize the opportunities to acquire those. Clearly, there are a number of skills and attributes that are common to all CEO roles, but there are some that vary depending on the type of role. For example, whether it's a startup or a change management situation or a steady state situation. I think a really practical way of thinking about the skills you need is, even before you've started job hunting, sign up to something like Guardian Jobs Online and get sent all of the charity CEO jobs. Spend some time looking at the person and job specifications, thinking how you'd be writing that all-important cover letter of how you meet their specification, and keep note of the things that you need to work on. My second top tip would be to, in your current role, really have a think about how you can expand your operational and external responsibilities. One thing that's really important is you must get experience of managing something other than a finance function. There are different skills involved in managing a function where you don't have an expertise in that area. I know there are lots of finance directors who manage HR and IT, and that's great, but do speak to your CEO and have a think about how you can maybe expand those responsibilities. Something that I think is really important in your current role is to make sure that you have a very leading role in business planning and strategy. I think there's a world of difference between a finance director who is a central part of the process but is reacting a bit more to assessing the financial viability of other people's suggestions rather than actually driving it forward. You need to be driving forward this process. I think communication is another area where you should be looking to get more experience. It's a big topic, but one area would be public speaking. Not everyone is totally relaxed speaking in front of a whole room of people, but it is something that you can learn by doing. There is nothing less inspiring than having a chief executive who's got their head stuffed in their notes or is reading out very wordy slides on a PowerPoint presentation. That's just really dull. You should also speak to your chief executive. It's good to tell them that you aspire to be a chief executive, and any CEO worth their salt will support you in this. You can maybe talk to them about having opportunities either on an ad hoc or an ongoing basis to deputise for them, maybe attending events in their on their behalf, meetings or speaking events, whatever. Another thing that I think is a good idea is to become a trustee of another charity, so you have experience of another charity's board. My third top tip would be, as well as all of this sort of learning by doing, there are so many other resources out there where you can learn. Online, the TED Talks are amazing. You have all manner of inspirational people talking about leadership and how to develop a culture that is innovative and creative. I think there are also lots of chief executives out there within the sector and beyond who talk a lot about their ideas about leadership and management, particularly on social media. You should follow some of those. Bruce Daisley of Twitter is one of my favourites. He does a podcast called Eat, Sleep, Work, Repeat, and he's great. Akivo runs some fabulous courses for CEOs. Media Trust runs some fabulous courses, all based around communication skills. My fourth top tip would be to be really open-minded and learn from a wide variety of people. At one extreme, I would find yourself a very experienced CEO who might agree to be your mentor. I think it's invaluable to have someone who can give you advice and act as a sounding board. At the other end of the extreme, I would say there are lots of junior, younger people from whom you can also earn a lot. They may have technical skills that are much better than yours, or have discovered apps that will make your working life far more efficient. I think there's an enormous amount to learn from a wide range of people. My final top tip would be to work on building up your network. Obviously that's in the real world as well as online. There are lots of events you can attend, lots of umbrella organisations you can become a member of. Online, I'm a big fan of Twitter and LinkedIn. I would say that a strong network is one that's really diverse in terms of types of people and types of organisations, and it's something that may help you find your first CEO role, and it's something that will certainly be invaluable to you when you are in that role, professionally as well as personally. I think overall, if you have passion and you're willing to work hard and you're willing to keep learning, then I think that's a really good basis to be successful. Good luck.